All of our productions at GCTV are sponsored in part by Bay State Health, providing the care you and your family need when you need it close to home. Visit them online at baystatehealth.org. Greenfield Savings Bank. Visit them at 400 Main Street in Greenfield. Call them at 774-3191 or go online to greenfieldsavings.com. Greenfield Community College, providing access and excellence in higher education in the Pioneer Valley. Visit them at gcc.mass.edu. The Hammond Family. The Hammond family are longtime supporters of Greenfield Community Television. New Fortune Chinese Restaurant on the Mohawk Trail in Greenfield. Visit them online at newfortunema.com. Call them at 772-0838 and check them out on Facebook. Real Cleaning Services, cleaning Hampshire and Franklin County since 1972. We don't cut corners, we clean them. Check them out online at realclean.com. Call them at 413-422-1143. People's United Bank, located at 45 Federal Street in Greenfield. You can call them at 774-3713 or visit them online at peoples.com. The Solar Store of Greenfield, replacing fossil fuels and nuclear power one home at a time. Visit them at 23 Fisk Ave. Call them at 413-772-3122 or visit them online at solarstoreofgreenfield.com. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting all of GCTV's productions.
If they would be able to get the information from another office, we would direct them there. But I guess if I were to address the staff, I would have to say, this is the procedure, this is our priority, which would be early voting, and this is how we're going to handle the rest. There are going to be people that are not satisfied, and depending on their level of urgency, we may have to swing a little and take care of their needs also. But in that instance, early voting would be the priority. So we would have to see to that first.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kathy, think of a time when you had many challenging projects with different priorities to manage, and briefly explain how you overcame the challenges.
I'm a huge fan of lists, you know, and the ball is always bouncing. So some priority often jumps ahead of others. But if you have the list, I find for myself that it's easy to bring myself back to the task at hand that I was doing before somebody else moved up on the list. And again, if I've needed help taking care of council work, council packets, that sort of thing, I've always been able to go to the clerk's office or the clerk that is sitting now and be able to ask for help, and I've always received it.
How would you deal with a situation where one or two council members were making specific demands, but the council has not authorized you to take action concerning these demands?
I would find out from them if they had been directed from, or perhaps contact the president, get the advice of the president to find out where the president sat on their needs. Sometimes individual councilor needs are not the priority of the council as a whole. And although in the job that I'm in now as the council assistant, you try to meet everyone's needs, but the council as a body is the priority, not the individual councilors. And I've had to say to people, and I think it's okay to say to people, that I need to check and find out what I'm supposed to do here. I need some guidance. I understand this is what you want. Can I give you a call back after I talk to the president?
There's an increasingly there's increasingly greater public expectation that municipalities should be held publicly accountable. How would you respond to public demands for greater accountability?
The public is entitled to any information that we have, unless it's confidential. There are different ways for them to go about receiving that information. They can make a public records request. It can be done online. We're trying to move more to the online aspect because that's how the world is going. They can come in and they can receive a copy of minutes. They can receive agendas. I think sometimes that we have more information than people expect us to have. So if someone were to come in and say to me, I want the minutes from the Council on Aging. How far back, how many years, we have lots of pieces of paperwork, and try to narrow down their request, because sometimes they're looking for something specific, but their request is more on the broad side. So we have to do a little bit of detective work to try to find out what exactly it is that they're looking for. So in communicating with them, the requests sometimes become more specific and not as broad. But there's different ways that they can access the information, and we just have to find out the best way for them.
And the last question is, how would you deal with an angry member of the public who's upset with the town?
You have to listen. It's not always easy because they sometimes take it out on you. And it's not always easy not to take it personal, but you have to try not to take it personal. And again, going back to the people that surround you. The people that surround you, the people that you work with, they're also there to try to help this person, and in turn they help you. You know, they will come into the conversation and make suggestions to you and to the other person. There has been a time or two that, not trying to push someone off to another department, but we can't always satisfy their needs. And if they feel like going upstairs and talking to the mayor's office, then we happily recommend that they go do that. But we can't always satisfy the needs that they are requesting. That's it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. Do you have any other questions of us?
No, I guess I heard that you're going to be voting on this next
Yes.
week at the annual budget meeting?
Yep.
Right.
Okay. So you'll know then.
Yes.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Nice to see you too. Nice to see
you again.
I think she went to go get some lunch.
Okay.
Well, it's a perfect night
Hi, how are you?
for field games, that's for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Are we ready, Philippe? Yes. Okay. So, the public, the councilors, and the mayor will always be needing your attention. Can you describe how to prioritize, and more importantly, how to do it without obvious negative emotions showing?
Well, there are task priorities and then there are people priorities. So we have no choice but to prioritize our work every day. And sometimes those priorities change on the fly. So there are going to be a lot of demands on my time. I'm familiar with that. And what I have to do is I have to actually sort out what I've laid out for myself for the day, what's come up during the day, and really try to determine what those priorities are. So what really is urgent. And for those items that aren't urgent, I have to calmly explain that they'll be addressed as soon as possible.
Okay. What kind of talk would you give to your staff in this scenario? Early voting is happening. The revolving door does not stop all day. Work needs to be completed, but 3 or 4 residents are at the counter numerous times throughout the day.
Okay, so what would I say to my staff? Well, obviously we have to juggle all of those tasks, so I think we just need to be able to work together as a team, and maybe there might be a way that we could take shifts doing the early voting. We can take shifts doing, we can switch off throughout the course of the day in order to keep everybody fresh, so they're not doing one thing all day long. Obviously, early voting, and we talked about this in the last interview, but early voting was very busy for the town clerk's office this year. So that's one of those things that's priority. We don't turn people away if they're coming to vote early. So I think that we need to figure out a way to work together to take shifts and help everybody out.
Thank you. Think of a time when you had many challenging projects with different priorities to manage, and explain how you overcame all those challenges.
Well, again, it's getting back to priority setting. It's getting back to really determining what is urgent, what needs immediate attention, what can follow that, and so on. It really does come down to organization and understanding what those priorities are. I'm trying to think of an example. Okay. I know this past week, I probably mentioned in my last interview, this past week was a very, very, very busy week for my current position. I had budget preparation. I was getting ready for town meeting, so it was really crunch week. Frankly, that took priority over everything. And people were generally understanding, but I took the time to explain that, I needed to tackle this, and then we'd move on to other items.
How would you deal with a situation where one or two council members were making specific demands, but council has not authorized you to take action concerning those demands?
So the council is a public body under Massachusetts state law, and I'm sure council members, for the most part, understand their responsibility as responsibilities as members of a public body. I think I would just have to very diplomatically remind the councilors that these items need to be brought to the full council, and it can be a delicate subject. I do know I work for a multiple member body at the moment. It's smaller, but sometimes those reminders, if they're diplomatic, sometimes those reminders work.
Okay. There's an increasingly greater public expectation that municipalities should be held publicly accountable. How would you respond to public demands for greater accountability?
Open government is a tremendous tool. And I've been on Greenfield's website. I think the town clerk does a really good job putting up the minutes of the council, and there's a lot of other information up there. To make websites, especially nowadays, to make websites easy to use and to navigate is really important. Some cities and towns have the luxury of having like an open government, open budget softwares, really expensive, luxurious type, tools. But I think that websites are critical in getting people the information they need quickly and easily. So I think that we need to do everything we can to kind of sort out that information and make it easy to access.
Okay, how would you deal with an angry member of the public who came, maybe storming into the office? Maybe was mad about potholes or something that probably might not have had anything to do with the town clerk, but how would you deal with that?
I would absolutely, first and foremost, listen, because a person is not going to come in and want a fight back, nor would I be wanting to fight back. So the first thing to do is listen and try to understand where they're coming from. Address the person calmly. If it's a matter that the town clerk's office handled, I would absolutely take that, what the person said, and try to work with them. And if it's not, I would refer them immediately to the other department. might go so far as to actually try to contact that department, let them know that there's a concerned person, what the concerns are, so that they're ready to be able to respond quickly.
Do you have any other questions for us?
I don't think so. I'm so glad I found this door. I haven't been in this building since it was remodeled, and it's beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It's beautiful. Wow. So I don't have any other questions at the moment. I know, according to the paper, Debs was firing on July 9th, and I should tell you that I do work under an employment contract. I'm required to give 60 days notice, and I would do my best to try to work a transition period if this worked out, because I do want to honor my contract to the greatest extent possible.
And we vote next Wednesday here in our council meeting. Is it here or is it GCTV?
I think it's a GCTV.
Maybe it's at GCTV, yeah. I'm just...
Well, we'll keep you guessing
I'm
where
just
it is.
barely getting through this week, so yeah, we'll let you know. Yes.
It'll be posted.
Yeah, GCTV, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Next week?
GCTV.
Oh, okay, on Main Street. Do you know where that is?
Right
I
above
think-
the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, yes, I do know where that is. Yes.
garden.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. It was great seeing you.
Thanks for coming in for the lightning round.
Nice seeing you again. All right, nice seeing you again. Thank you very much for the challenging questions.
All of our productions at GCTV are sponsored in part by Bay State Health, providing the care you and your family need when you need it close to home. Visit them online at baystatehealth.org. Greenfield Savings Bank. Visit them at 400 Main Street in Greenfield. Call them at 774-3191 or go online to greenfieldsavings.com. Greenfield Community College, providing access and excellence in higher education in the Pioneer Valley. Visit them at gcc.mass.edu. The Hammond Family. The Hammond family are longtime supporters of Greenfield Community Television. New Fortune Chinese Restaurant on the Mohawk Trail in Greenfield. Visit them online at newfortunema.com. Call them at 772-0838 and check them out on Facebook. Real Cleaning Services, cleaning Hampshire and Franklin County since 1972. We don't cut corners, we clean them. Check them out online at realclean.com. Call them at 413-422-1143. People's United Bank, located at 45 Federal Street in Greenfield. You can call them at 774-3713 or visit them online at peoples.com. The Solar Store of Greenfield, replacing fossil fuels and nuclear power one home at a time. Visit them at 23 Fisk Ave. Call them at 413-772-3122 or visit them online at solarstoreofgreenfield.com. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting all of GCTV's productions.